44 BC. Rome stood at a crossroads. Julius Caesar was dead, stabbed by men who claimed they were saving the Republic. But the real war didn't happen on the battlefield. It happened in the minds of the people. Octavian, Caesar's young heir, discovered something terrifyingly powerful. Stories could kill faster than swords. Instead of launching soldiers, he launched poetry, graffiti, even children's rhymes. Through these simple tools, he painted his rival Mark Antony, not as a heroic general, but as a drunken slave to Cleopatra. The people of Rome began to chant those verses in the streets. Within months, Antony's reputation collapsed. Octavian didn't just win a war. He rewired Rome's imagination. And here's the catch. That same weapon, the manipulation of narrative, is sitting in your pocket right now, disguised as a smartphone notification. This is the backdoor into the human brain. Empires learned early on that people respond to stories faster than the logic, fear faster than the truth. Romans scribbled graffiti on city walls, mocking leaders, planting rumors, shaping opinion. Priests spread hymns designed to glorify certain rulers, while demonizing their enemies. Even children's songs were repurposed to carry political messages, so kids themselves became messengers of propaganda. Doesn't that sound familiar? Today, hashtags trend the same way. Viral TikTok sounds spread like wildfire, and your amygdala, the fear center in your brain, processes emotional lies 37% faster than facts. 2,000 years ago, Rome found the cheat code. Today, it just has a sleeker interface. One of the most chilling examples comes from Octavian's personal meme war against Antony. He didn't just call his enemy weak. He paid the poet Virgil to write scandalous verses mocking Antony as Cleopatra's bedslave. Then he minted coins showing Antony as an Egyptian traitor, foreign, untrustworthy, un-Roman. Imagine waking up and seeing your general's face stamped onto every coin in circulation, branded as a villain. Slowly, Antony's own soldiers began to doubt him. Romans didn't need swords to turn on their leader. They only needed gossip, stories, and symbols. That's the ancient equivalent of your group chat, blowing up with screenshots, memes, and rumors until you no longer know who to trust. Fast forward nearly 2,000 years, and the game hasn't changed. It's just scaled. Joseph Goebbels, Hitler's propaganda minister, perfected the technique during World War II. His rule was simple: flood the public with 10 lies a day. People won't have time to fact-check even one. His weapon wasn't poetry, it was radio. Whole towns gathered around to hear his carefully crafted broadcasts. Within weeks, neighbor turned against neighbor, not because they had changed, but because the story of who counted as enemy had changed. Goebbels once said, "We don't have to convince people. It's enough to stop them from questioning." Think about that. The goal of propaganda is not belief, it's silence. Isn't that exactly what happens today when the algorithm buries inconvenient voices, while rewarding outrage and fear? The Cold War took it even further. In the 1980s, Soviet intelligence launched Operation Infection, planting a story in an obscure Indian newspaper claiming the United States had created AIDS in a laboratory. They knew Western journalists would discover it, republish it, and spread it globally. Within months, the story was mainstream in dozens of countries. By the time American scientists disproved it, the damage was irreversible. Trust had already been poisoned. Replace the Indian newspaper with a random Twitter account, and the strategy is identical. Start small, seed doubt. Let others amplify it until truth can't catch up. And here's the darkest twist. Sometimes leaders become prisoners of their own fake news. In 2003, entire nations believed Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. Governments repeated the claims so often, with such certainty, that even decision-makers began to treat it as undeniable fact. A war was launched. Hundreds of thousands died. But the weapons, they never existed. The lie had grown too big to stop. History wasn't written by the victors. It was written by the rumor. And once again, the cost wasn't just reputations. It was human lives. Now, look at where we stand today. Your phone, the device you check 100 times a day, is the most advanced propaganda machine in history. Algorithms decide what you see, when you see it, and how often. They don't care about truth. They care about engagement. If a video makes you angry, scared, or suspicious, it spreads faster. Just like Octavian's poems, just like Goebbels' radio shows, just like Cold War disinformation, the system knows one thing. Your emotion's a battlefield, and you are both the soldier and the prize. But here's the good news. History also gives us defense tactics. You can fight back by gamifying your brain. Tools like Google Lens let you reverse source images to see if a meme is recycled propaganda. Psychologists suggest playing pre-bunking games, small challenges where you spot fake headlines before they spread, to build resistance. And the simplest defense of all? Ask yourself one question before sharing. Who profits if I believe this? That pause, just a second of doubt, can dismantle centuries of manipulation. Empires rose and fell on the power of lies. They weaponized poetry. They weaponized radio. And now, the greatest propaganda weapon in human history fits in the palm of your hand. The question is, will you be its victim or will you weaponize truth? Because if history has taught us anything, it's this. Lies may outlive empires, but they don't have to outlive you. But here's the paradox. Fake news doesn't always come from the powerful. Sometimes it starts from the ground up. In medieval Europe, rumors of witches spread faster than plagues. A failed harvest? Blame the old woman in the village. A child sick with fever? Accuse the midwife. Soon, entire towns erupted into witch hunts. No king ordered it. No army enforced it. Yet thousands were burned alive because ordinary people spread extraordinary lies. This shows something terrifying. Fake news doesn't need a dictator. It just needs fear, repetition, and silence. And if you think we've evolved beyond that, think again. Just look at the digital witch hunts of today. A single tweet, sometimes fake, can ruin a career overnight. A manipulated video can turn millions against someone in hours. Cancel culture isn't new. It's just a modern face of the same medieval hysteria. The tool has changed, but the human brain hasn't. We are still wired to believe the loudest story, not the truest one. And that makes every one of us both a potential victim and a potential amplifier of propaganda. So, the next time you scroll, pause. You're not just consuming content. You're standing in the same arena where Octavian destroyed Antony, where Goebbels silenced a nation, where rumors lit witch-hunting fires. History isn't a dusty museum. It's alive in every notification you receive. The empire of fake news didn't fall with Rome. It didn't die in Berlin. It didn't end in Baghdad. It's here, right now, living in your feed. And the question that decides the future is painfully simple. Will you be the next soldier in someone else's war of lies, or the citizen who finally learns to resist?